In the city of Richmond, Virginia, it is not an uncommon sight to see people with body art. In fact, Richmond is considered to be the third most tattooed city in the entire country. While the motives behind different people's tattoos may vary, every tattoo has some sort of meaning or significance to its owner.
Well, I got this one first when I was like 16 years old. I was really influenced by my family, and the fact that I drew it myself and, was able to get it, it's unique and represents me. So.
This is for my grandma. I actually designed this when I was like 13 or 14 years old, like right after she died.
This chest piece is We Will Overcome. It's by a band Counterparts. Lyrics that I really like mean a lot to me.
I have a Beatles quote because when I was growing up, my dad used to always sing the Beatles to me as a lullaby.
This one is actually from a album artwork from a band called Mastodon. I'm really big into music, and they've been my favorite band for about 5 years now, so for me it just made sense, music's helped me out a lot, and I don't know, without music I wouldn't be where I am today, so.
Although within the past 20 years the popularity of tattoos has increased significantly, there are still many who feel as if tattoos are indicative of deviance. The overall negative perception of tattoos comes from their association of stereotypes and is harmful to the lives of people with body art.
Have you ever experienced any discrimination because of your tattoos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For this film, I interviewed several tattooed college students to learn about their experiences with discrimination and the concerns they have for their futures. It was clear that for people with tattoos, it is a struggle to overcome stereotypes and to prove the negative perceptions of others to be wrong.
After getting a tattoo, just the way that people kind of view you or the way they react when they find out that you have a tattoo, it's a little eye-opening, I guess, to see how judgmental society still is towards things like body modification or body art.
When I first got a tattoo on my chest, my mom's sisters didn't really know what to say about it because it was for their dead mother, my grandma. So they had to be a little bit touched. They were basically, their best comments were, "It's big." The visible ones I've had to worry about hiding them around my girlfriend's grandparents because they're not so big on tattoos.
I have had certain family members that have not enjoyed them so much, but I have had some coworkers that have seen my tattoos and they don't know I have them right away, but then when they find out I have them, they're just like, well, I don't understand why you have them, what if you're 80 years old and you're not going to enjoy that, and I don't know, for me, the tattoos, if I look back on them when I'm older, they represent certain time periods in my life, and I can always go back on that and be like, I learned something at this point in my life, I learned something at this point in my life, and I got the tattoos for a reason, and I'm still going to know that when I'm 70, 80 years old.
Honestly, it doesn't define character at all. It doesn't give you a way into this person's life or even anything to say about them, because you don't really know anything about the person based on the kind of tattoos.
It also seems that women with tattoos may face harsher criticism than tattooed men and often receive additional discrimination due to their gender.
I think as a whole, women face a lot of discrimination just in general from society. There's a very oppressive kind of view toward them, and just the discrediting of females just because of tattoos is just one more outlet for society to take on us. Even growing up, you face a lot of, I faced a lot of problems kind of validating myself to other people or specifically my male peers just because of my gender. And you wouldn't think that it was as bad as it is now, but it's still pretty bad. Just growing up in a society where you're told that you're nothing but kind of a commodity for other people is very depressing, but kind of the reality of the situation. And the whole tattoo thing kind of gives you, just personally, I guess for me, a way out of that, because it's my body, it's my choice to do what I want with it. And just taking that stance in general is kind of like a little bit of armor against all the, for lack of a better word, bullshit.
For these students, there is a lot more at stake than simply being looked down upon by their family and peers. They all face the risk of being denied employment and having to put the careers they have been planning for on hold. It doesn't matter if they are qualified for the position or not, by having a tattoo, their chances of employment are likely to decrease significantly.
So do you think that your tattoos will cause you to have any problems looking for employment once you're done with school?
There's a chance, and I mean, it's unfortunate because there are a lot of people that look at those sort of things, and it's sad because they look at the tattoos and they automatically go, oh, you know, this person's this way because of this, and it says a lot about our society and the fact that, like, we can't actually get to know people, and, like, you know, just because someone listens to rap music, they're not thug, or just because someone drives, you know, a Mercedes-Benz doesn't mean they're a stuck-up, greedy, rich person, you know? It's the same thing with tattoos, and, like, yeah, you can't really even see my tattoos, you won't really see my tattoos when I'm in the business field, but they still look at those things, and if they do see them, they're going to judge you. It could harm me in the fact of if my CEO saw that I had tattoos and was like, oh, you know, now I'm not going to give you a promotion, or now I'm going to treat you differently, and it's just, it's really sad because people just judge based on that first opinion, you know. Yeah, certain people might get tattoos for bad reasons, and, you know, when they're kids, they might do bad things associated with those tattoos, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone who has tattoos are bad people, or that they're, you know, not hard workers or anything of that nature. You know, I'm in the school business now, and yeah, I've messed up in my life before, but now I'm maintaining a 4.0 GPA, and I'm doing the things that I want to do, and I have a plan for my life, and ultimately, I'm not going to let my tattoos hold me back, but I can't make decisions for anybody else.
I just think it's silly that even though none of my tattoos are offensive or ugly or scary, they could all be in a children's book. They're all relevant to my life, but people could still have an issue with them and they don't want to see them in the workplace. It's scary because I've spent so much time and effort preparing myself for a career, and that could all be jeopardized just because I have tattoos. It's not really fair because I work just as hard as everybody else applying for that job.
The saddest part about all of it, though, is that, you know, people see people with tattoos and they're like, oh, they've lived a rough life, or they're bad people, but then you see so many people that work in big corporations and they smoke cigarettes, or they go out and get drunk, or they, like, cheat on their wives and things like that. It's like, you have so many people that do bad things, but, you know, just because someone smokes a cigarette doesn't mean they're an awful person, or just because someone drinks sometimes doesn't mean that they're going to go and rob a bank. You know, it's the same thing with tattoos. Tattoos have become such a big part of culture. I mean, tattoos have been around for literally thousands of years, and it's, for some people, it's actually like a tribal culture, religious sort of thing, and I don't know, it's just sad that we get those sort of stigma in America for, you know, just having art on our bodies.
I don't know, tattoos to me it's just a way, a different way to express yourself, like you would if you were painting something or taking a picture of something. I mean, I don't think it's anything to be discriminated against, and it's your body. It's as simple as you should be able to do what you want with your body. It's an open canvas. You got a lot to work with. Why not put whatever you want, whatever you feel means something to you on that you think should either be some sort of reminder or a homage or anything like that to whatever means something in your life.
People with tattoos are no different than anyone else and do not deserve to be treated in such a manner that condemns them for expressing themselves. They should be given an equal opportunity for employment, and potential employees should be evaluated based upon their experience rather than their appearance. It is time for American employers and our society as a whole to break away from the stigma surrounding body art and to put an end to these harmful stereotypes.